Marcy Kennedy. I am here with Rise and Grind Picker, Shane. It is our 7th episode for the Reseller Network. And, oh, I hear feedback. Somebody have,
Is that better?
there? Oh, yeah. Oh, no, it's still there. Why am I hearing it?
Oh, I don't hear it. I don't hear it.
Maybe it's just me.
I hear it a little bit.
Yeah, we might have some.
I don't know if it's me, but I don't think it is.
Am I hearing it?
Hold on. Let me. So tell me if you still hear it now.
Say it again.
I don't hear anything now.
I don't.
Did you hear it then?
Do we get it fixed?
I think so.
It might be me. I muted my computer, but I have it turned down super low. Hold on real quick.
Well, anyway,
All right,
back to the show.
Is it good now?
I think we're good. Yeah. Awesome. Thanks.
Sorry about that.
All good. So anyway, back to you, Anthony. We have Picksburgh here. So he has a YouTube channel and the sorry, I'm completely sidetracked now. YouTube channel, and his link is in the description below. So it's the 7th episode for the Reseller Network, and this is Anthony Picksburgh, and tonight's topic is going to be Amazon Q&A.
Yeah. Looking forward to it. I'm reasonably new to Amazon, but I've gotten a really good crash course just because I'm really good friends with Nate every day I'm hustling. So literally, I've gone sourcing with him. He's I know you're supposed to keep your store and stuff all he's basically tutored me from the ground up. So
that's awesome.
I probably have a little bit more knowledge than somebody that's really only been personally selling on there for the past 2 months.
That's good. That's good though.
So
yeah, I think that that's the key to success with Amazon. You have to have somebody that you have a leg up on everybody, to actually go sourcing and physically with is awesome. But when I started, Lou Hustles was my partner in crime, and just somebody's phone number that you can call, and when I started, Amazon lost my entire first shipment. It's like somebody you can call freaking out. You're like, oh my God, what do I do?
For sure.
So those are always my words of wisdom to anybody that's considering starting on Amazon. Have somebody's phone number.
Yeah, that's been a definite lifeline for me. I can't tell you how many times I've sent him, UPCs and stuff, even to go into Keepa and check to see how often things are selling, because they might look good to the naked eye just using the Amazon app, but then you come to find out maybe 2 sell in a month.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah.
So, not to go super heavy on stuff.
Right. Exactly. Yeah, Keepa's fabulous. As soon as you can get it, it's just wonderful. We were talking before the show that there's some items that I'm holding on to, just based on historical data. I know I can get another $10 out of the item than what the selling price is now, for example.
Mm-hmm.
So hello to Eric in Ohio. Eric, actually, I was born in Ohio. I don't know if I ever told you that. Let's see, Mike is here. CJ.
What part of Ohio are you in, Eric?
I was born in Dayton, if anybody's familiar with the Dayton area.
Is that out by Columbus?
It's about an hour 15 minutes from Columbus, yeah. So we actually still have a family farm out there.
Yeah, I've traveled back and forth from Columbus a few times, so I could have sworn I remember seeing signs for it and stuff.
Mm-hmm. I'm sure you have.
Mm-hmm.
Yep. I was born in a little town called Troy.
Cool.
That's awesome.
What's up, Craig? Yeah, Ohio's a cool state, though.
It is. Absolutely.
I don't get to go as often as I'd like to because I'm a big Cavaliers fan.
What's up, Craig?
Hey, Craig. What's going on?
Columbus. That's cool.
Yeah, Columbus. Cool. Very cool.
I've heard there's a lot of really good liquidation out in Ohio, so I want to get hooked up with some of that at some point.
Nice.
Eric, do you do Amazon too? I'm pretty sure you do. So maybe you can give us some insight to some liquidators.
Look it up, man.
Hook a sister up.
Look at Craig, man. He's driving and texting into the chat. My man.
Oh no, Craig.
Craig said driving.
Can't remember who was it. Somebody did that one time on another show. That reseller mom and I were doing. They said they were driving. We're like, no, stop driving.
Yeah.
Either turn off the car or turn off YouTube. One of the two.
Yeah. I was at the bins one time, and like I'll listen to like live shows while I'm like driving place to place. And Tommy and Destiny went live, and I was like, "Oh, cool! Now I have something to listen to on my drive home." Destiny like freaked out and like sent me the link, so that way I wouldn't be tempted to text while I drove. Like, that way I could just speak whatever I wanted to.
That's funny.
That's cool. Eric,
Are you in your Ford, Craig? Your big Ford?
He's at the stoplight.
Oh, that's right. Eric does sell in the UK.
I didn't know they had those down there in Bama.
Alabama. Yeah, that's pretty funny. Yeah, I forgot what I was going to say. Let me think about it.
Do 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 do.
So yeah, I was sourcing. I was sourcing today. So I had actually ran out of Amazon inventory. I actually sent all of it in. So I went out sourcing today. Try to find some, and I have a really, really, really good friend who is a manager at Lowe's, who now, if I buy in bulk, they gave me a discount on boxes.
Nice.
So I bought 22 large boxes and 15 small boxes for $26.
Nice. Pretty good. What's up, Mike?
CJ has a great idea. Let's talk about after Christmas. Actually, we were talking about that a little bit before the show.
Mhm.
Best spots to source after Christmas sales. Walgreens.
I like Walgreens.
Yeah, Walgreens is decent. Walmart's good, but all the after Christmas stuff, like, you got to have the capital to hold.
Mm-hmm.
Yes. Here's an example.
Unless you're getting stuff for 53 cents.
Yeah, last year I spent $1,700 at Walmart on clearance, and I held it for 6 months, and I doubled my money on it.
Nice.
Yeah, you do have to be willing to hold, which goes back to what I was talking about with my business model. That I do a lot of that now.
If I can get stuff cheap enough, I'm happy to hold it as long as possible. Like, I bought a bunch of floaties and stuff this past year, which aren't really that great to sell, to be honest with you. But I got them for, I think, like 7 cents per unit.
Oh yeah.
And it came with like a 2-pack, like, so 2 kids could have floaties. And I paid 7 cents per unit. So I was like, yeah, I'll pick it up for 7 cents per unit.
Absolutely.
And I just got them sitting on a shelf. I haven't even touched them.
That's the way it is with some of my Easter stuff that I was telling you before about, that I'm still selling. I picked it up for 10 cents each.
Yep.
It's like, okay, awesome. I will take everything that's on the shelf.
Yep. Literally bought them all.
What's that?
I literally bought the store out. Might have spent $9.
Yeah. Yeah, that was like me with the Easter stuff. And that was before I was comfortable, like, telling anybody I was a reseller. And they're like, what are you doing with all this? And I was like, donating it to my son's school.
Yeah, I think most of the places I frequent just kind of know already.
Like, yeah, they do. Yeah, they kind of do now. Well, I'm more comfortable, like when I was at Kohl's yesterday, the lady's like, are all of these for you? And I was like, no. She's like, oh, Like she was waiting for an explanation and I just never gave her one. And then other places, you know, they're like, you know, what do you do with all this? And, you know, it kind of depends on the feel, you know. Some stuff I'm like, yeah, you know, I'll resell it. You know, sometimes people are like, good for you. And other times they're like, what's that all about?
Right. DJ, I would suggest just checking the expiration dates because Amazon does have a pretty strict cutoff date. So just make sure that you're at least a few months beyond that if you're going to sell it on Amazon. I've done okay selling some Halloween candy just because I'm gated in like almost everything, you know, and it's funny just like going through the checkout and people look at you like, oh, is that all for you? It's like, oh, well, I'm a pretty big guy, so they could believe like full Halloween candies for me.
Yeah, and you know, the other thing too is it depends on CJ. I don't know if you're using the Keepa graphs or not, so you can kind of maneuver your timing. You know, that's what I do with a lot of my holiday items is I look at, you know, what's happened over, you know, the last year, or if it's, you know, the listing's been around for a couple years, where is the highest price that item has sold. You know, like Christmas candy, sold really well for me during summertime. And, you know, I was the only seller on the listing. Everybody else had sold out. You know, it was sought after stuff. And, you know, I got really good ROIs, you know, like 50 cents into like 450, you know, is really good. So, so, you know, you can look at that and see where do you want to time it. And the Halloween candy, I do have some Halloween candy now that I've got like 12 boxes of an item that doesn't expire for another 2 years. And like Anthony said, you know, look at the expiration dates. And I bought it right before Halloween, but it was on sale and it was a really great ROI at the time. And I knew it would tank, you know, because there were so many sellers on the listing. There were like 40 sellers on the listing at that time. But, you know, looking at the Keepa graph, I knew historically that that price is going to rebound during the summer. So I'll just hold those boxes.
I would say though, the one thing you do got to be careful with in candy is chocolate because you.
Oh yeah, I don't do chocolate.
Yeah, you can't have any meltables.
Rule. I just don't do any of the chocolate because then you know it's all messed up.
Yeah,
you can't have any meltables in the warehouse from like starting in like I think it's like May 1st of May or whatever, and so you know like a new seller, it would be really easy for them to like look at some M&Ms and be like, oh yeah, I'll send those in, and then oh it's a meltable, and then I made that mistake when I first started. A couple times I had some meltables and I, you know, had to dispose of them. So
Eric said, tell nosy cashiers that you're donating to the prison that you resided in the last 15 to 20 years. Ask them if they have a problem with that. Got a problem with it? Hey, thrift trader.
You're out buying all the inventory for commissary.
What's that?
I said he's out buying all the inventory for the commissary.
So anyway, yeah, I always go back to Keepa to look at all that stuff.
Yeah,
so actually there were some candy corns. Actually, I got them. I don't know if they were like gluten-free or organic or what they were, but I sent them in. I guess they sold out at Halloween. I sent them in, and they sold as soon as they hit the warehouse. So that was a good return too. That was like $3 into 6, I think.
That's not bad at all. That's pretty good.
Yeah, I mean, I just always go back to that Keepa. I preach Keepa all the time.
Yeah, Keepa's awesome.
It is.
I haven't made the plunge myself yet, but I can basically send Nate a UPC anytime, day or night. He pretty much looks at it for me.
Yep.
So at some point, once I get the training wheels off, I'll probably get my own Keepa. But for the time being, I'm more than happy to bother him.
Yeah, I think I was a couple months into it before I got Keepa. The thing with Keepa though is that it's helped prevent me from making or like going in too deep, you know, on a particular item, you know, that, you know, I might just pick up 2 of them, you know, instead of 10 of them, for example. Or, you know, I mean, it has kept me away from bad buys altogether just because, you know, the sales rank is the sales rank, but that's only one piece of the data.
Yeah.
Where the Keepa, you know, you're like, oh, it sold once in the last 3 months and it just sold yesterday. And that's why the sales rank is so good.
Right.
You think that Amazon would want to like have that information readily available?
I had thought about that, especially like, when, in October, they're wanting us all to clean out the warehouse with, all of our stuff that doesn't move. And I thought to myself, well, if you would provide us with information so we know,
Yeah.
how much to send in, or, what's a good buy, what's a bad buy.
Mm-hmm.
I mean, that only makes sense that they would want us to know that information. Same thing with, with the Amazon Scout Scout, whatever that tool is called that we've talked about before.
Yeah.
Same thing with like inventory levels. You're like, like today when I was listing stuff for Amazon, it's like, oh, there's 3 sellers, and I go and look and see how much stock everybody has. One seller has 99 items, and it only sells 6 times a month. Well, I'm not going to send it in today, because it's going to take forever for that other seller to sell out.
Yeah. A drummer's asking, when you're out in the field, how do you find out how many items other sellers have?
I don't.
Isn't it okay? Yeah, there's a site you can go to. It's like Scout something or whatever.
Scout Stock Stats is the Google Chrome extension.
Okay. Yeah, I was gonna say Nate showed me that, and I've looked at that a couple times.
It's awesome.
Yeah.
It's a free Chrome extension. What I do is when I'm out in the field, and there's obviously a good buy on something, yeah, I'm going to pick it up. When I'm at the store, I have gotten very, very good at always looking at my keepographs at the store. I used to wait till I got home to look at them, but I've actually gotten in the habit over the last month or so of always looking at the keepograph when I'm in the store through Inventory Lab. So I'll look at the, obviously the sales rank. I'll look at the Keepa, look and see how many sellers there are. There's no way that I know of that you can see inventory levels from other sellers when you're out in the stores. But when I get it home, that's when I make my decision. Do I want to send it in today, or do I want to keep it, hold on to it for a couple months, or, hold on to it for even a month or whatever. Or sometimes I just take it back to the store. Return it. Four Oak 34, hello. Okay, serious question from Eric. Serious question. A scammer returned 2 phones without the batteries, cords, instructions, etc., but did return 1 SIM card. I took pictures and ready to contact Amazon. Any other advice?
Eat it and move on. That's my advice. Amazon is not going to do anything about it. They are very customer oriented, and that's the difference between eBay and Amazon. Amazon's going to side with the customer no matter what.
Yeah, and it actually, I haven't been faced with a return that's been that blatant before. I don't know. I mean, still being fairly new, I might try to contact Amazon and see what they say. Especially because, it sounds like it was very expensive. But if you go to the returns policy, it actually states in the return policy that Amazon does not take responsibility for customer damages. Anything that's been I've looked at it myself. It's very clear. It's very clear in there if you look at the return policy.
And most of the time, like I said, Amazon won't do anything. Like, they're gonna side with the customer, and pointing stuff out like that puts up a red flag to Amazon about you. And that's where a lot of it, like for me, like I'm just like, boop, I'll move on. Like, I throw it in a box and I sell it, or I throw it away, or I donate it, or whatnot, because I want to fly in under the radar as much as possible.
Right. Yeah, no, it's true. There is a lot to be said about flying under the radar.
Yep.
Yeah,
4 Oaks 34 Vicky said she had a customer steal all the minifigures out of a Lego set and return it. I'm not surprised. Yeah, Amazon customers are, very entitled. But one of the things that I always go back to, like you said, Shane, that Amazon is so customer centric.
Yeah.
That, I mean, they live, breathe, eat, for their customers. So trying to look at it from a customer perspective, one reason why I'm very proud to sell on Amazon is because I'm a very proud Amazon customer. And one reason for that is because of their fabulous return policy. So it's like, the returns suck. They suck, and having to eat that money is terrible, but that's why they're so successful. It's why we're able to make the volume of sales that we do.
The one thing that I've done to kind of combat that is just sell more. The more you sell, excuse me, the more you sell and the more that you are able to, the more volume that you can put out and the more ROI you can make, the more returns you can take.
You can absorb them better.
I got 3 returns today and I didn't even notice it. Like, that's what you have to do, is you have to get your business to where you are doing enough volume to where it's not going to hurt you to take 2 to 3 returns. I sell 700 to 900 orders a month. I don't notice returns. I probably took 30 returns last month and I didn't even notice it.
I just took 3 today and it really didn't faze me.
Good.
I'm reasonably new.
Good. Well, it's taken me up until a few months ago to get comfortable having the volume of returns on Amazon. I never took it personal. I know, a lot of people take it personal. I just remember going back to, myself as a customer, I like to be able to go to the store and return things. I like to be able to order from Amazon and return things. So I don't want to deny another person from that. So I just try to look at it from that perspective.
The one thing
it did take me up until a couple of months ago to really be comfortable with returns. And honestly, I mean, my volume is not what Shane's is, so my returns still do hurt. They still do hurt. But there's been times that I'll get the returns. How the Amazon sends you the returns from the customers. I've just the other week I opened up a package and it was a pair of shorts and the zipper had busted, and I'm like, so, I mean, that was a rightful return, obviously.
Now, I will give you
It does suck when you get the scammers.
I will give you some advice on what you can do. What I do to kind of help the returns a little bit is every return I get in, I put in a box and I make box lots and I save them up. And I have a consignment auction and I liquidate all my box lots in a consignment auction. The last time I did it, I took 30 boxes there and I made $500.
Good.
Nice.
So it offsets the cost of the return, because if you're going to take, let's say, I don't know, 30 boxes of returns, 30 is a lot, but I get a lot of returns. And you make $500, you made all your profit on those items. That's just extra money that you're just putting back in your business because you're just liquidating some returns. That's what all the big companies do, like Target, Walmart.
Yeah.
You gotta outsell the returns and then just make liquidation lots and liquidate it.
That's a good idea.
And I would say the good thing in that regard is if you sell on multiple platforms, like for example, like I sell on eBay. eBay is still my primary platform, even though Amazon's taking more and more and more time away from eBay. But I mean, I'm the type where I wouldn't bat an eye at buying somebody's liquidation boxes, because I know that I could then turn around and sell those on eBay and make pretty good profit on that. I mean, there's people whose business models pretty much are basically just buying up all the liquidation they can from, different companies that sell off the Amazon stuff. Yeah, I mean, if you are selling on multiple platforms, take the return and just flip it somewhere else.
Yeah, that's what. Sometimes I'll flip my returns on on eBay.
Mhm.
Well, that's actually the reason one reason why I saw it at my eBay store. I'm not as active on it as I used to be. Again, going back to the time,
Yeah.
But yeah, that's why I haven't shut down my eBay store.
I'll flip some of them on eBay, the higher end returns. Just depends what it is. But a lot of this stuff I just send right back into Amazon. Sometimes
some of it I
Amazon will
do.
say, "Oh,
Mhm.
it's not sellable," and you get it back and it's brand new.
Yeah.
I just put it back in.
Yeah.
For sure.
I opened up a bra the other day that I got back as a return. I'm like, there's absolutely nothing wrong with this. Nothing. There's one time I got a bra back and the strap was broke. Okay, I see that. But this time nothing was wrong, so it just went out in the shipment that went out today.
Right.
Yep.
A lot of it, it's incorrect, and some of it isn't. You just got to look at the returns when you get them back, open them up, touch them, look at them. None's wrong with them.
Yeah, just do your assessment.
Yep.
But keep in mind, it has to be like pristine condition. It can't be like an eBay new item. You know what I mean? Like, oh, this tape measure doesn't have a box, but I've never used it. It's brand new. No, it don't work like that.
The way I look at it is if it looks the same when I get it back as it did when I sent it in, it's good to go in again.
Absolutely.
And that's the perfect mindset to have, Anthony. That's exactly what you need to do.
Nailed it.
Well, I've watched a lot of videos, and I've harassed the heck out of Nate. Definitely blown his phone up over.
Poor Nate.
I
know.
Nate's a good guy, man. He is a good guy.
He's definitely good people. He deserves a lot more subscribers too.
Absolutely.
His knowledge is very underrated when it comes to Amazon. Just being privy to the behind the scenes numbers and everything he's dealing with. He knows his stuff.
Yeah, he seems to really know his shit.
Who is it?
He does. Nate.
So, Nate knows his stuff. 100%.
Every Day I'm Hustling is the name of his channel. But I think I've told him from the beginning, and he knows this, he needs to change the name of his channel because nobody can find him.
Yeah, for sure.
Every time I type in his channel, it takes me to a Rick Ross music video.
I know. Exactly. That's what I'm saying.
But the only way I can find him,
nobody can find him.
I have to include eBay and Amazon after his name.
I think that's how I found him. And I'm even sub to him. And when we had him on one of the channels, I think I went to find his YouTube channel.
Yeah.
I'm sub to him, and I still had all this other stuff.
You know how I found his channel to subscribe to it? I typed in Picksburgh Goodwill, and it took me to the video where you and him went to the Goodwill bins, and then I found the channel there.
That's awesome.
That's how I had to find it.
Hello to Holy City Picker.
What's going on?
And Swamp Picker. Swamp Picker's in the house.
See, it's funny from this perspective because I come from mainly an eBay background.
I'm pretty sure I said hello to Noel.
Where people are saying Holy City Picker says eBay is a puzzle to me. I'm trying to solve the puzzle of Amazon right now, so I'm kind of from the opposite spectrum.
Yeah, and here's the thing: there's a lot of people that really get it twisted. They think that Amazon's easy or Amazon's hard. It's in between, it's both.
Yeah.
And to really explain that is there's a lot to learn, and once you learn it, you're fine. But you always keep learning. Literally, the hardest part to Amazon's finding inventory.
Yeah. And that's been the hardest part for me, especially as a new seller, is keeping inventory in the warehouse.
The hardest part for me has been the bookkeeping and the taxes and trying to figure out all that minutia stuff. That's been the hard part for me.
I just do GoDaddy bookkeeping, and it tracks every single Amazon sale and every single thing going.
I know, I do. Yeah. I guess we should probably talk offline about it, but that's exactly what I do too.
Mm-hmm.
But then GoDaddy's saying, "Oh, these are your estimated taxes." I'm like, how the heck did they come up with that number? It's stuff like that I'm like,
the estimated.
How did they get there?
The estimated taxes are always off because you're not putting all your write-offs in, like your home office and all that stuff.
Okay.
You're not counting for all that.
I hope it's off because it's hopefully off by like $10,000.
Oh yeah.
No lie.
Yeah.
I'm not lying because I was freaking out about it a little bit this week.
Yeah, mine was way off last year.
What's that?
Mine was way off last year. Yeah.
Okay. That makes me, because seriously, I'm like, oh my God, like, how do they think I'm going to pay them $10,000 next year?
I mean, I still paid in like $3,000, but I had over $30,000 in write-offs.
Okay. Well, that makes me feel better.
Yeah.
Okay.
Oh, Ciosa's still at work. That sucks.
Oh. What do you do for work? Ciosa sells. Good. So, okay, that's good, Shane. Because I was freaking out a little bit about that this week.
Yeah, I just, for me, I'm just like, I just kind of go by the cuff.
Well, I know, but I was like, and it's under that in GoDaddy, they have that like, manage taxes tab that I only look at like maybe once a month. And so I looked at it the other day and I was like, oh,
yeah, that's not putting any of your write-offs in or nothing like that.
Okay.
So you would be good.
Okay. Good, because I thought I'm not able to go sourcing for the rest of the year.
Nah, you should be all right.
Yeah, I have a cousin who's an accountant, so I'm gonna hit up his mom to try to.
Oh yeah, you should
get him to give me a family discount.
Absolutely, yeah.
Give me one if I showed up at his place of employment, but if his mom gets in his there, then maybe I will get a little bit of a discount.
Nice.
Maybe after work.
So that's been the hardest part of Amazon for me, and it was one of the hard parts about eBay and Poshmark for me too. Is just figuring out all those numbers for taxes and
right.
I've gotten good about getting my receipts in and all of that other stuff. My mileage and tolls and those kinds of things.
Yeah,
I've gotten good at that.
Yeah, that's something I
think it's just it's just a learning curve. What was that, Anthony?
That's what I've slacked on hard is mileage. As far as like keeping track of all that.
You haven't been?
No.
Oh, Anthony.
I mean, truth be told, like I've only really incorporated just in August.
Yeah, so I just incorporated.
Last year I didn't even file taxes because I didn't do, I didn't do enough business like to have to.
Oh, okay.
Right.
You know what I mean? Like I was under $10,000 last year with e-commerce. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I was too, but I still filed. I was still told to file, so I don't know. But the state of Florida is funny though, that if you resell it all, you have to have a reseller permit. So anybody out there that lives in Florida, if you're a reseller, get your permit like yesterday.
Yeah.
Yeah.
Because I actually got fined for not getting my permit sooner and paying taxes, even though I only made very little last year.
Yeah, so tax is going to be rough for me this year, trying to figure it out for the first time, like how everything's going to work out. But, I'll get the hang of it.
Yeah.
It is what it is. I'm not like the most organized person, so that's why I'm going to try out my cousin do it. So make sure I don't screw myself over.
I next year I'll have an accountant. I actually have a lady so she owns her own CPA firm for internet sellers in New York. And so I'm going to end up paying her $500 a month to take care of everything.
Nice.
That's nice if you can afford it. I can't afford that right now.
Yeah. I mean, I think next year I'm going to have to because I'm going to have to incorporate.
Right now I can't afford to pay myself $500 a month.
Yeah. Next year I'm going to have to probably file for LLC. So I'm going to have to.
Oh, you don't have your LLC? That is one thing I did this year. I got my LLC. I was very proud. It was a very proud day.
Well, and the thing is, like for me, I'm not doing enough volume for LLC, but next year I will be. I mean, I'm going to sell a lot this year, but I mean, just in October and November, I sold over $30,000.
That's fabulous.
Just on Amazon, not including eBay. I do a couple grand a month on eBay. So
that's fabulous. But yeah, going back to your mileage, Anthony, start tracking it because I've heard Shane say this before, and it's the gospel truth. You sell enough on Amazon, you got to take every deduction you possibly can.
Every one. I even track my mileage to the post office, and it's like a block away from my house.
Yeah.
It's it's $1.
Yeah, I
I
go to
don't
the
care.
UPS store. The shortest distance I have is the UPS store, and that's 6 miles.
Yeah.
Yep.
And I'm like, "Choop. Yep. Today I went there, and I'm taking those 6 miles. Even the other day, I was out doing grocery shopping with my husband, and I was like, I'll pick up these 5 little things that I spent $5.97 on.
Well, this
And then I was
month
like,
is
well, I'm taking that mileage because I did some sourcing while we were out.
When you're turning in your mileage, are they just looking for a ballpark number? Are they looking for, okay, like on this
No.
day, I did 5 miles here, 6 miles there, 7 miles here?
They want some kind of either a log or like Shane does his electronically. So they want some kind of documentation. I just keep one of these little books in my car.
Yeah, I used to have one of those back in the day.
Yeah. I'll say, hey, I have an extra. I'll send it to you.
No, I use
if you do your mileage. I know. This is proof right here. Right here, guys. Put yours back up, Shane.
I use Mile IQ.
Put yours up, Shane.
Well, hold on. This month I've stayed local, and I've already have in December $136.
See, this is how different Shane and I are. We get along, but look how different we are.
Everything's done on my phone. Like literally, I like my Google Calendar. I put all my events in my Google Calendar on my phone. Like my whole life is on my phone.
Yeah,
it's the bad part. That's bad because if I lose it, I'm screwed.
Yeah,
you're screwed.
I'd be the same way if I lost my phone. Eric wants to.
I think everybody's that way now.
But yeah, just this year, I'm looking at just the way it sits now, $3,000 in write-offs just from mileage.
That's awesome.
Yeah, I'll have to go in and look and see what mine looks like. Mine's not that high because I don't do travel RA yet. But
and I just started doing. I mean, I should have probably had 7,000 or 8,000, but I just started tracking my mileage like this year, and I've been very spotty with it. And I've just gotten, since I went full time, I've gotten really good at it. But when I went full time, I was going on like 800-mile trips and not tracking it.
Oh, Shane! Ouch.
So, yeah, it is what it is.
Yeah.
I'll only do that for 1 year, and then when I get screwed this year, I'm definitely not going to do it next year. Tracking it next year.
Yeah. I just have, so I have one of these little books in my car, and I just have it right there by my dash. And when it's just part of my routine. When I head out in the morning, I log, where my mileage is, and I reset my odometer. And then when I get home, I log it again and check my mileage and write it in there. And the other tip that I heard too was, you can't do it electronically, but if you do keep a logbook like me, is to put in, exactly what it was that you did. So today I just wrote, UPS. That's all I did today was go to the UPS store. Or if it's like sourcing, like what area did you source?
Yep.
So you can kind of justify it.
But Mile IQ, man, it's awesome. You sit in your car and it automatically tracks everything. and you just take your finger and you go boop, it's business. And it goes boop and puts it there. And that's it. That's all you do.
But remember, see, I'm the retired nurse, so everything has to be documented.
It is documented electronically.
No, but it needs the details.
And then, guess what? It sends me a report to my email every month, and then I read it, and then boop, that's it.
Oh, you read your email?
No, I don't.
When Shane and I started these shows, I was like, here, send this, or I'll send it to your email. He's like, no, you have to send it to me on Facebook. Things get buried in my email. Yeah. I was like, but I don't know how to use my Facebook from my desktop. So if it's my show, I have to email it to you.
I totally.
I think it's the only time you check your email.
It totally gets buried. Like I get 300 emails from Amazon a day. I'm like,
I know. Amazon emails are crazy. And then the ones that they have, that they send you, all the details get buried.
Yeah.
Because they don't know how to conjugate a sentence sometimes.
Yeah. Well, and that's
conjugate
why
a verb or conjugate something.
It's like when some people are like, well, I just send all the Amazon emails to a separate folder. I'm like, I don't, because if you get suspended, they're going to send it to that folder and you're not going to know.
Yeah.
So you can log in your account restricted.
Like, if I get suspended, I want to know I'm suspended.
That's right.
Does it not say it on like the app or whatnot? Like, I mean, I've never done anything to get suspended yet, but I just would think that it would say something when you log into the seller app, or at least
it's restricted.
because they're gonna send you an email and they're gonna be like, "You're suspended," and it's not gonna be a nice one.
Yeah, and it's going to be some vague reason why, and you're going to be like, "What the hell did I do?"
Yep.
And you're going to be scratching your head and trying to figure it out.
And then you call Ed Rosenberg and you pay him to get you unsuspended.
Yes. Yes.
Have either of you guys ever been suspended on Amazon?
No.
I have not. I was close.
Where is it? I have not, but I am ready because I already bought it. Your guide to Amazon suspensions. I already have my plan.
Yeah.
So if anybody is interested, this is by Rosenbaum. I think that's his name. Your Guide to Amazon Suspensions. This is the 2017-2018 edition. The funny thing is that when I ordered this, the only seller that was on this book was Amazon themselves.
Oh, is it Ed Rosenberg?
Yep.
It is? Yep.
So anyway, oh no, CJ Rosenbaum.
Oh,
sorry.
CJ.
Yeah. So anyway, so if anybody wants to read this book, it's awesome, but do not try to read it in one sitting like I did because I had a panic attack for about a week straight.
No,
I went, oh my God, I didn't know I could be suspended for that. Oh my God, I almost did that. Oh my God, I did do that.
Yeah. No, it's crazy. And I was almost suspended one time. I had something go wrong with the shipment. And it wasn't my fault. It was UPS, and they had covered a label up. And Amazon sent me a letter. Not a letter, but they sent me a nasty gram through my email saying that if it happened again, I was going to be suspended.
That's scary.
So I had to write a plan of action on how to not have UPS cover up my labels.
I had that same issue almost with my second shipment. I took it to Staples, and the dude behind the counter grabs a Sharpie and he starts scratching out the one that they use for like putting your stuff away, like the second label. And I'm like, dude, what are you doing? Like that's Amazon's label, man. He's like, oh, but this is the one we use to send it. I was like, yeah, that'll get it there. But once it gets there, this is the label they use to make sure my stuff goes where my stuff needs to go.
Right.
So,
that says that shit belongs to me.
Right.
Yep.
So Holy City Picker, I wrote my own POA and all was well. What happened? Did I miss something?
No, plan of action. So that's Danny. So me and Danny, we talk a lot, and she is very good at like writing plan of actions.
So now I know who to call.
Yeah. So she's pretty sharp when it comes to that stuff.
Awesome. And by the way, I have to just throw in there, Danny is one of my favorite girl names. I love that name.
Yeah, she knows her shit when it comes to like IP claims and stuff and stuff like that. So
jeez.
Yeah.
The owner accidentally sent out. I'm so sorry to hear that.
Yeah.
I'm glad you got it all straight though.
They didn't accidentally do it. They did it and then they said they accidentally did it.
Well,
so get sued. Because see, a lot of these brands, they try to send out IP claims to scare sellers.
Mm-hmm.
And what happens is, like 2 years ago, there was an Amazon seller that sued a big brand and won like a cool couple million because they entered his account falsely. So these brands are scared to death now, and they backpedal. Like when you confront them, they're like, "Oh, sorry, I didn't mean to." And I've had brands do the same stuff to me, and they backpedal and they completely take it all away and like try to disappear.
That's good to know.
Mm-hmm.
I don't know. If I have any suspension questions, I'm calling Shane.
Yeah, you're more than welcome. You're more than welcome.
Oh my God, Shane, I just got this email.
It's good to have somebody like that.
That's what I said. When you first start Amazon, man, you better have somebody's phone number.
Yeah, no, absolutely. Absolutely. It's super helpful.
Even as a new seller, I got kicked off of a listing. I screwed something up, and that was scary. Just getting suspended from a listing.
Yeah.
Mm-hmm.
So
no, absolutely.
Let me ask you guys this. I know it's like a Q&A, and I think I'm supposed to answer questions.
No.
What's the worst advice?
No, you can ask.
What's the worst advice you've ever been given about Amazon?
It's not been given to me directly, but I've watched YouTube videos where I've seen some bad advice, like, put it out on Facebook, to order my product, and, I'll pay you through PayPal and you can get the item for free, and because, to get the reviews of the product up or get your feedback up or something like that. And I was like, oh, and I was, reading through the comments of this particular YouTube video, and everybody's like, oh, thanks for telling us, what great advice. And, you're telling us things that other YouTubers won't tell us. And, and I was like, oh, this is bad advice. No. Don't do that.
So for me, when we were doing our Patreon, we had a guy in there that learned from another YouTuber that sold on Amazon, and that YouTuber told them to, if they had pricing stuff on the packaging, to take a Sharpie and mark it out.
Like the MSRPs.
They sent like 200 SKUs in with Sharpie all over the box, and they would have indefinitely gotten suspended if they would have sold any. I had them recall it all immediately. And yeah. And the YouTubers, I mean, they got a channel. It's 18,000 subscribers, and it's on Amazon. And I mean, they claim to sell 1 million a year. They don't. But bad advice like that is all over YouTube with people that sell on Amazon, because you have these overnight gurus coming in and say, I sell 1 million a year, buy my $800 course. And then they really don't sell 1 million a year. They sell like $2,000 a year. They're making their money on the courses.
I've seen that even on the eBay side, where people present themselves to be, this larger than life reseller. And then, you'd look at their store and be like, really?
Yep.
No offense.
What's up, Nate? Were your ears burning? We were talking about you.
I was putting you over pretty good there, buddy. Yeah, Nate's my Amazon guru. Every day I'm hustling there.
So if you can, y'all. I didn't start saying y'all until I moved to Florida. So if you all would right click or click, or what is it that you do with those 3 little dots, whatever it is that you do, and subscribe to Every Day I'm Hustling, please.
Yeah, I'll drop his.
And also in Picksburgh while you're at it.
I'll go get Nate's link, because tomorrow morning on our morning show, The Entrepreneurs, he's going to have Grimes finds on, and possibly What the Hales too, if they're able to stay long enough.
Awesome.
Nice.
Plus his beard is awesome. You guys won't see that epic beard.
He does have a pretty good beard. It's pretty full.
Nate's an awesome dude.
That's
We kind of like him around here.
Yeah, I've hung out a lot in private with Nate, like on private hangouts, just us hanging out and working or whatever, and talked to him a lot, and he knows his stuff about Amazon.
He knows his shit.
Yeah.
So it went good. Farm Girl Scavenger. It hasn't aired yet. They're gonna text me when it airs, but
you have to fill everybody in.
Yeah. So I had a French TV network called TF1 come to my house a couple weeks ago, and they spent the day with me and pretty much just filmed all day. And so they're going to do a story on me and a couple other people for Amazon. And so it's going to air. I don't know when it's going to air, but they're going to send me a link. But it was pretty fun. I mean, they got here at like 10 a.m. They left about 3 p.m. It was a long day, and I was like still had pneumonia, so it was a super long day. They were French, but it was fun. So
French people are fun people.
Yeah, no, it was fun.
Hey, whatever happened to those 2 guys? I can't remember what country they lived in.
Germany.
Yeah.
I still talk to them. They still sell on Amazon.
Let's bring them on.
Yeah, we can. Yeah, they do private label. Yeah, I'll have to get in contact with them.
Yeah,
but,
do. Well, let's bring them on in January.
But yeah, they're fun. They're fun dudes to hang out with.
Those are some party dudes. Those are the kind of guys that, like, you know, you got to go out for a couple drinks with.
Oh yeah, no, absolutely. But yeah,
They cracked me up every time they were on your channel.
Oh, I know. They're very vibrant.
What were their names again?
Alex and David.
That's right. That's right. They were
Alex
true.
and David.
Oh, they were a hoot. They were so fun.
Yeah, I just talked to him a couple weeks ago. Yeah, I stay in contact with him. Sorry, hold on.
Craig said 10 to 3 talking about your hours of filming. He said, sounds like Amazon seller hours.
Oh, yeah.
Oh, Drummer said, bring back the Germans. Yay.
10 to
Yay,
3,
Drummer.
Yeah. But yeah, they're good dudes. They do all private label. They do no RA because there's nowhere to RA in Germany. So they do only private label and wholesale. And they're pretty good at it. So I mean, they're good. They get their stuff from China. They got a liaison that sources their stuff from factories. I actually was put in contact with their liaison. So I have their liaison in China where I could just contact and say, hey, I need some help.
Wow.
So
look at you networking.
But yeah, they're good dudes. Like they sell over $1 million a year. Like they're,
yeah, they're legit.
Mm-hmm. Yeah.
Yeah, they are some cool guys.
I haven't even heard of them.
Hans and Franz. Yeah, because there was someone that was like, oh, it's Hans and Franz. Yeah, because we interviewed them a long time ago, and they reached out to me. And then I had them on my channel, and we did some collabing work, just me and them. And they're pretty cool guys.
Yeah, their stories were great.
Mm-hmm.
It's awesome.
Hey, you meet a lot of people. You meet a lot of people when you do YouTube, and the people you meet, like, there are a lot of times from other countries. But I here's the one thing I can say is this, and I'm gonna say this the nicest way I can.
What's that mean?
In the eBay community, okay, on YouTube, you have these people that are literally willing to slit your throat at every nook and cranny and every turn. But in the Amazon community, it's a lot more forgiving. And that's what
it is.
Yeah, I was gonna say
sometimes. As long as you don't
Yeah, from what I've heard.
As long as you don't misrepresent what you sell, like the people you meet from like other countries and stuff like that. But like YouTube is just YouTube. I mean, it's the most crap I got when I was doing YouTube, like, and I still am, but the most crap I got was you only got 300 items in your eBay store. Like I had people, like other YouTubers, like give me crap about it. And I'm like, dude, I just sold 15K on Amazon this month. Like, does it matter? Like, people were so hung up on how many items you got in your eBay store.
Mm-hmm.
That's what everybody's hung up on.
Well, full transparency, my eBay store is little.
Yeah, I mean, yeah, mine's not big. I mean,
it's little, everybody.
I got like over
if you find me out there, which you're more than welcome to look for me, you can find me easy. It's gonna be a little store.
But if you focus on Amazon, you don't have time to list all day. You know what I mean?
No.
I've seen people with small stores though, like for example, around the 300 mark. I would sell me, when I was around like the 1300 mark. And really, it just has to do with what kind of inventory you have, and that kind
long tail, short tail.
Yep,
absolutely. Well, those are all good points.
My good friend Eric Dominic, though, he's always in the chat. Eric Dominic, he lives in Ohio. He has like 300 to 400 items listed at all times. Mm-hmm. The dude's doing crazy volume, like he's selling $200 items. He's selling $2,000 books.
Wow.
He's selling things for crazy money. Like, he's selling big items, but he's just selling them quick.
for sure.
But I just feel like, there's a lot of really good people in the eBay community. There's a lot of really good people in the Amazon community, but the communities are way different. Like, there are people that just sell on Amazon. That's it. And when you come into YouTube, you think it's just the reselling community, but it's like, it's kind of split a little bit. And then you kind of like, you get to know people, and there's a lot of great people out there that you can meet through YouTube, though.
Oh, yeah. Otherwise, I wouldn't have met you two lovely men.
Absolutely. Absolutely.
Does anybody have any more Amazon questions? Nate says he has 350 listings on eBay. That's good. Noel has 797. Fabulous. Never been that high before. Good for you.
I'm at like 661, but I got to end a bunch because I sold $250 on eBay yesterday.
Yay! But how much did you sell on Amazon?
700.
And
that's with very little inventory in the warehouse right now.
Yeah, exactly.
I'm at 994 currently on eBay. I recently put down over 300 listings.
I'm sorry, I missed what you said, Anthony.
I'm at 994
wow.
right now on eBay, but I've recently pulled down over 300 listings just with YouTube auctions and lotting things and donating crap.
I pulled down about 300 listings this year too when I was getting ready for my porch sale because I just wanted it to be gone, Yep. So I only have like 140 listings right now.
My ultimate goal is to get to an anchor store, though, and that's my ultimate goal.
My wife we were laying up in bed before I came down here, and she said, you really should go get a storage unit this week because now, like, literally to get to our washer down here in our basement, it's like trying to get through a Pac-Man maze. It's so crazy. Seriously, it's crazy down here. And then like stuff is spilling into the upstairs. So she's like, yeah, especially because right now I have 3 bids in on storage lockers too. So I've set several goals for myself just to try different avenues to see, what would be good, because sourcing in the winter around here, unless you're doing RA or stuff like that, it's scarce.
Mm-hmm.
Yeah, I mean, like, so I'm gonna get some lockers this winter. I'm gonna do some liquidation this winter, and I'm gonna dive super heavy into Amazon this winter as well.
Mm.
Yeah, my news. One of my big pieces of news this year was I'm moving my business we have a garage apartment that the renter moved out. So my husband and I came up with the contract, so my business is actually leasing that space now. Because like I said, there's some items even for Amazon that I don't want to send in right away. I want to hold on to them. So I have storage up there, which is awesome, but I just got a laptop for my birthday, which was just a couple of weeks ago. So I have to get that set up there to, be able to actually work from the apartment. So that's like awesome. The next step for me. But awesome. So hopefully next time you guys see me live, I'm hopefully going to be doing it from the apartment.
But yeah, we will see. That's awesome.
We will see.
That's really cool.
Yeah, it's really cool. It's cool. It's just a little 1-bedroom apartment, but it'll be nice to have a place to go that, where all of my stuff is, because my stuff, like you said, things are spilling out upstairs for you, Anthony. My stuff is still spilling out in the house itself, because I'm doing work from the computer, when I'm listing on Amazon and stuff like that. So I've got stuff up in the apartment. I've got stuff out by my shipping station, which is still here, which needs to be put up in the apartment. I've got stuff, in my office. Got stuff all over.
I'm the same way. Oh, see, most of mine's eBay because all my Amazon stuff I get shipped out really quick. Like I went sourcing today.
Yeah.
After the show, I'm gonna go upstairs and I'm gonna build a shipment and ship it all out.
Yeah.
It'll be shipped out tomorrow.
Yeah, I'll normally do 2 days of sourcing in a row. I used to be really good about coming home and prepping my items and logging everything into Inventory Lab right away. I don't know, it's like the last 3 or 4 months I've just kind of lost some of my stamina, because it's like I just by like 8 o'clock at night I'm just done. But so what I've been doing though, I've been doing days of sourcing in a row, like this week, Sunday and Monday. And then today I did all of my prep and shipping today. You know, I actually went to UPS and dropped everything off.
Right.
And then tomorrow I'm going to do, you know, work around the house that I need to get done, you know, some personal business and, you know, regular back office stuff for Amazon. And then I'll go out again Thursday, Friday, and then build another shipment over the weekend.
I will say though, if anybody's going to ASD in March, I'll see you there because I'm driving out to ASD in March.
Yeah, I'm excited for you. I'm not going to be able to make that happen right now, unfortunately.
Me and Barry Thrifty Santa are going on a 2-week road trip to do RA, all the way to Vegas and all the way back from Vegas.
Oh, real quick. Flippin' Hustler's in the house. He snuck in.
Todd?
Hey,
What
Todd,
is
how's it
up,
going,
buddy? Long time no see. Mike said his eBay store never has more than 60 listings. That makes me feel so much better. Thank you, Mike. Noelle said, I just source from my garage, the barn, the front room, the spare room. And occasionally the bins and always estate sales. That's cute.
I love the bin. Like
Stamina, my lady friend hates when I lose my stamina. Get rid of the gutter. That is so cute in case if y'all missed it. Love that.
That's
awesome. It's been so much fun. Okay. Any last questions, guys? Any last questions, Anthony?
Eric.
Why? I just appreciate you guys having me on. You know,
yeah.
Cool hanging out. You know,
it's so cool. I love hanging out with you guys. We need to do another hangout with you guys too.
Okay.
Yeah. Oh yeah, absolutely. Yeah,
that was so much fun.
And see, I'm just trying to be quiet. I've been
quiet.
Well, I try to be the most quiet because the more I talk, the more I cough. But I'm getting better, and I think probably in about another week I'll have this cough gone. So
yeah. You're almost as quiet as me.
Almost close.
Drummer says there's a pill for that stamina.
Is it a blue one? Is it blue?
Do you all get those radio commercials for like ED and all that other stuff?
Yeah,
it's everywhere.
So I get those commercials and they're always on when I'm driving my 11-year-old to school in the morning. And like 3 times he's like, Mom, what's ED? I'm like, oh.
It's Ed, Mom. Yeah, it's Ed. All you need to know is it's Ed.
Okay. All right. I'm going to say goodnight to everybody. Thank you for joining us. Hit that thumbs up on your way out. And subscribe to Shane and Anthony if you're not already. And that was so much fun, guys. What's that?
Subscribe to Marcy too.
No, yeah, him to me.
Hold on. Danny asked a question.
Oh, okay.
Oh, where's her question?
I'm glad she said something because I missed it.
I totally missed it until she said,
my God. Wait. My favorite topic. What are your thoughts on selling clothes on Amazon, being that they have the try it before you buy it program? I love selling clothes on Amazon. Love it, love it, love it. That's like 90% of my inventory now.
It's okay.
Good to know because I haven't even tried it yet.
Love it. And, you know, being a new seller, you will be shocked at what you can actually sell clothing-wise on Amazon.
It's good to know.
I will say I did sell the same jacket like 9 different times one time.
Nice.
Finally, it didn't come back.
Yes, your returns are higher, but I'll tell you, I mean, there's some things that I've gotten ROIs of like 900% on for Amazon. I mean, you can't beat that. You know, you pick something up for $3 and there's one item I was picking up for $5 and I've been selling it for 38 and making 23 after fees. So whatever that comes out to be, like 400 and some percent.
I think as we get off here.
What's that?
I'm literally going to go scan all this clothing as soon as we get off.
You need to.
It's tag stuff.
Absolutely. Awesome. I mean, as long as you have the receipts, you're good.
Yeah, I do.
So
Right.
do it because I'm telling you, and look at your ranks, just do the, historical analysis and all that other stuff.
I will say though, clothing for me, I do sell some clothing, but I like it best to go wide and not deep. Like, and what I mean by that is you have a jacket. I might buy a large, an XL, and a medium, but I'll only buy one of each. I'm not going to buy more than that. I'm not going to buy 4 or 5. I'm not going to buy 100. I'm not going to buy 30. I'll buy one of each. I go wide, and I like to go wide because it kind of cuts down on like in clothing when you have a jacket, the ranks. Let's say the ranks 100,000. Well, that's for all of the listings.
Mm-hmm. All the sizes and all the variations. That's a really good point because you don't know which one sells the best. Like it might be the blue shirt, not the red shirt.
Correct. So I go wide and I just don't go deep.
So I will tell you, I will go wide and I will go deep, depending on the product and depending on my research and the price if I have the cash for it.
Yeah, I mean, if it's a good thing and it's going to sell quick, I'll spend all the money I have on it.
Yep, and the seasonality doesn't matter. I'm selling white capri pants this time of year because people are taking vacations or they live in Orlando or where they don't care if it's white and capri.
Yeah.
I'm selling bathing suits right now. I'm selling tank tops. January is great for workout gear. Your sports bras and running socks and all of that stuff.
Do you those outlets a lot down there?
I have spent spent one solid day, not any more than that, not any less than that. I spent one solid day at the outlets to see if I was missing out on anything. And then this was like back to school time, when the sales were really good. And I could not find prices that I was like, I gotta have that.
Right.
Gotcha.
I'm doing much better if I'm going to the Kohl's, the Marshalls, the Ross, the TJ Maxx, Burlington, those kinds of stores to get, their items. And even at those stores, depending on the item, I might pay what they're asking for. It doesn't have to necessarily be on clearance.
Yeah. Mm-hmm. Yeah, I've done really well with Ross Dress for Less just over the years. Like, I haven't really gone into Amazon with it yet, though, so I'm excited to try that.
I'm telling you, it changed, and that's one reason why Reseller Mom and I are such good friends, because before I reached out to her, I just watched, because her channel is a lot of clothing. I learned from her before she even realized I was, pretty much, just totally learning from her channel. Before I was stalking her. That's what I was looking for. I was literally stalking this woman. She had no idea I was out there. But but anyway,
that we're kind of, we really lean on heavily for information.
Yeah, I was just stalking her channel and she didn't even know, and I just learned so much, and I just started to put into play some of the pieces that I learned from her, different brands that I learned from her. As she's got great videos on the packing and the shipping of the items, the different stores that she was going to, just some of her different ideas and how her mind was thinking. She was talking about sales rank in there, all these different tips. So I tested out a lot of her different theories, and my business over the summertime when I was testing out the stuff just really boomed. And I think a lot of that was because not only was it back to school and I was doing a lot of office and school supplies, but because of the ROI on the clothing was so good.
So Danny asks, what brand should a beginner stay away from? Personally, yeah, I stay away. I stay away from Under Armour. That's one brand I stay away from is Under Armour, because a year ago they got real bad at sending out IP claims. But I
did not know that, because I am an Under Armour whore.
They don't send them out now, but I
hope not.
it
You
makes
do have
them,
to get ungated for Under Armour, but it's definitely something that you can work towards.
I'm ungated, but it makes
Well, I
me
mean, I was
nervous.
talking. She said as a new seller.
You'd be getting on that anyway in the beginning.
Mhm.
Yeah. But
So,
like
what about free
have a-
people? Free people could, yeah, free people. I don't think you need ungated for. You can find that at, I think, TJ Maxx, Ross.
there's a brand, can't think of it now. Huh.
I'd have to look at my inventory. I'm drawing blanks.
Yeah. There's one brand, it's like they make like polos and stuff like that. I can't remember.
Ralph Lauren.
Van Heusen. Van
Oh yeah,
Heusen
Van
is a
Heusen.
good brand to sell as a new seller because
Yeah, it's funny because Van Heusen, I could be wrong, but I don't think it sells well on eBay, but it does on Amazon.
Correct. Yeah,
And Hager is another one.
Yeah.
Hager pants. Although you have to be careful because Amazon locks down some of their listings that they're on. And that's the other thing too with clothing is I find that per category for Amazon is on more listings in the clothing category than the other categories I sell in, like health and beauty or food products or office supplies.
Do you
Party supplies.
Do you find it best to send in brand new clothing, or do you ever send in thrifted clothing?
No.
You can't send in thrifted clothing.
Okay.
Unless there is.
You can send in used stuff. I just didn't.
There are some listings that used as an option for clothing, but I've never done it, and I don't even want to touch it on Amazon.
Yeah, most of the stuff I actually even have in inventory right now is brand new stuff. The only time I'll pick up something at the thrift is if it's worth decent money. That normally goes right to eBay anyway.
Well, and like Van Heusen, like I was picking up some polos, like Van Heusen polos.
Oh, real quick. You mean if it's something new with tags that you bought from the thrift store?
Well, no, I just meant in general.
Oh, okay.
Because I do know that there's a lot of people that will send in used stuff to Amazon, whether it's like electronics or whatever. But
it depends on the listing. My experience has been with used items. Like if I have like a damaged box or something like that, I'll list it as, used, very good or something.
Yeah.
That it just doesn't seem to really move on Amazon. That's just only been my experience. There's been a couple of things that have moved, but not a lot.
Eric says I'm an Under Armour dabbler, but I haven't committed to being a whore.
Nope. If I see like an Under Armour like tag sticking out anywhere in the store, it's like there's gold. There's gold.
I would normally, I would, and I'll probably sell it. Like, I actually started selling a few pieces recently, but I stayed away from it for so long because I know I have some friends that they sell, crazy amounts, and they got IP'd for Under Armour last year. So,
hey, Money for Mars. Oh, and going back to brands. Think about like ladies' intimates, Maiden Form, and Bally. I don't remember if they're restricted now or not. Those are good ones too, and Warner's. Any other questions, guys? Hustling and grinding. You always are, Shane.
I know. Every day.
Okay, I guess that's a wrap, guys.
Alrighty.
Good night, everybody, for the second time. It's been so much fun.
Bye.
Bye.